All right. Good evening, ladies and DeGents. Welcome back to the Distinguished DeGents podcast. I'm one half of the Distinguished DeGents. I'm Steve. Big Bucks Abeyta, still unfortunately under the weather. But joining me as always is the one and the only, the profitable Jason Money Mansmann. Money Mansmann. I think you had a pretty good Thursday, but not like me, sadly. But tell the people how your Thursday night went?
Well, it was okay. I hit a couple good bets. The Aaron Dolan special on ESPN Bet got that to come in. There was also
clutch.
Also a boost, Geno Smith and Dak Prescott to get 500 yards between them.
FanDuel.
That was easy. The one would have been a better night. It was really close to an even night just because the one bet I didn't get, but I got a bonus bet back. I had a 4-1 Tyler Lockett over receiving yards, Brandon Cooks over receiving yards, Cowboys minus 6.5 alternate spread. And
dude. Oh, that's bro. That almost sound. I had one that was just as bad last Sunday, and I didn't mention it in the recap. Kelsey, 90 receiving yards. Mahomes, 275 passing yards. Raiders team total under 16.5. And they got 17.
Oh, yeah.
That was a fucking killer.
I had a tough beat, but still, I mean, at the end of the day, thanks to the other hits, I was good. And I had one leg on a bet with the other primetime games. So all in all, still could be a profitable Thursday. But hey, we got a good game. Hallelujah. I'll take it.
Yeah, we did get a great Thursday night game, and I actually wanted to bring it up real quick for a recap. Dallas 41, Seattle 35. Seattle gets the cover at 8.5, 9.5, depending on when you got it. But Seattle, again, this just seemed like a Joes and Pros handicap where just both happened to reign true. My takeaway, though, Dak Prescott is starting to make a name for himself at this point this season. Obviously, come closer to playoffs, we're going to wait for the collapse. It always happens every year. But I will say this was a rare sighting of Dak Prescott being the perfect franchise quarterback that Dallas has needed for a long time. Seemed to take the game under his control for the whole game and just never really gave it up. Dallas's defense, what a shit show on their half. Totally unbelievable from Geno Smith. But Geno has these random showings on the road, so I'm just kind of torn between praising Geno or shitting on Dallas, once again.
I'm wondering, maybe Seattle isn't dead. I mean, I know they're 6-6, but it's the NFC. Anything could happen in the NFC. But yeah, I mean, I wrote Seattle off. I thought they were dead as a doornail, and they actually showed up last night. Their defense still sucks. That's no doubt. It was a dead over game. If you had the over, you were celebrating by halftime, basically. So
I'm shooting myself in the leg. Listen to I thought I put this in because I had it screenshotted. Now, mind you, I think the Dallas spread would have killed it, so not like it matters, but it would have been literally, there was a stat that said Dak Prescott just needs one more game to break the franchise record. 300 passing yards, 4 touchdown game. Put that in the same game. I put that in a same game with CeeDee Lamb touchdown. And I think the over plus Dallas minus, I think it was a 21-1 or something like that. Something really crazy. Shooting myself, I didn't put it in because I could have just switched it for Dallas money line. But yeah, dead over game we handicap. That was not even fucking close.
Yeah, that was so we were good on that. And honestly, with respect to the line, I mean, could have been. Dallas's defense didn't really show up. Seattle played a desperate game. So good for them, but Dallas gets the win. And yeah, it was a good game finally, though. That was the good thing. I mean, because it was Thursday night, sometimes when it's late and it's not really my teams, I'm not entirely as plugged into the games as maybe I should be. But I'm still this was the first Thursday night game in a while where I watched a good portion of it until it was getting late and I was just getting tired. But yeah, no, it was a great game.
I made it to the third quarter and I was zonked. I was out just, taking the medicine and all that. right now. I'm kind of dealing with a mild cold, but yeah, what I will say was like it was very much a back and forth. It was the Thursday night game we've all been waiting for all year. So, and not really the spot where I expected it to happen, but a spot that was actually very pleasing to see nonetheless.
Yeah, no,
so,
I thought Dallas was going to win in a rout, and Seattle came to play. And speaking of not coming to play, DK Metcalf.
Oh, Jesus God. Yeah, so DeGents, right now, me and Money Mansmann face each other this week. Essentially in a do or die for not both of us. It's a do or die for Money Mansmann.
No,
if I win, I essentially clinch the number one spot in our league. Now, here was my thinking. Dallas's defense has been top-notch for the last few games. They've been shutting down number 2 receivers most of the year. DK not coming off a great performance. Zach Moss was announced as the number 1 running back. I switch out DK Metcalf with Zach Moss in my flex. And kind of just figured, look, it'll probably break about even at the end of the day. Like, I thought Zach Moss against the Titans defense would be the smarter play. And I just start the first quarter, and DK Metcalf breaks for a 70-yard touchdown. I'm like, son of a bitch, here we go. And I'm just thinking, okay, it's going to be like a 20-point game from him. Probably won't see much else. Nope, second quarter gets another one. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I wake up, 6 catches, I think 134 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
And I'm shaking
like
my
40
head.
points, yeah. And you know what, my team, I mean, you're going to beat me anyway because I think like three-quarters of my team is on bye and I'm just no good. But, yeah.
Your team, you have a team full of starters, at least. They're all going to be on the field. It's not like you have like a RB2 like Ezekiel Elliott. Like all your guys are going to get the touches and the opportunities. We'll just see this week. I mean, it's any given Sunday.
It's projected to be close. I don't think it's going to be close.
I think it will be close. I'm not going to lie to you. There's actually a possibility. I was talking to our friend Nick about. There is a possibility, depending on how these games go in the next 2 weeks, I could go from 1st to 6th.
Wow.
It is very slim, but it could happen. So I'm praying that doesn't.
I'm here for it.
Well, it all depends. Like, first of all, like a lot of people need to win. I have to lose out.
Only 2 weeks of the regular season left, fantasy football wise. I mean, the year is going crazy.
And there's a lot of teams in our league that are like 1 or 2 games out left. But I think we're getting ahead. We're not really here to talk about fantasy football. I think we're here to talk about fucking sports betting.
Yeah,
we're talking about week 13. 12 games left on the slate this week. Not a lot to pick from. I still have all my best bets to give out, but Money Mansmann, slim pickings for the gamblers out there this week. What's your advice going into this week's slate of games?
Yeah, this is oh boy. I mean, I'm wondering if this is the week where the dogs come back. Because there's been a lot of favorites for basically the last, 5-6 weeks. I'm wondering if this is the return of the underdog because they've been gone for a while. And I don't know, whenever the public wins like they did last week where the public's just clean the books out, I'm wondering if this is the week where we get some doggaroonies coming back in.
I'm with you there on the spread. The theme I have this is the bold strategies, where this is the kind of week where sometimes you look at these games and there's all these numbers pointing in a direction, but you just look at the team and you're like, I don't know if I really want to back this team. And this is the week you got to be bold. You have to just stick to your guns. You have to stick to what you really think, win or lose. But again, do all your handicapping, do all your research, but I think no matter how you look at some of these teams, like you could look like a donkey one way or another, like regardless of what the numbers say. So, yeah, bold strategies is the theme this week for me. It's just, whatever you do, just like double down on it. Don't be afraid. Any final words?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. Some weird lines this week too. We'll get into it.
Last week was definitely a lot of pick'em games, a lot of 1-2 point swings. We definitely have some games where we got some points to lay or some points to take, depending on your taste. Not a fan of this game, but we're going to start with the fan. We do all our odds on FanDuel. We're going to start with the FanDuel list, and unfortunately, we have to start with this shit show of a game, but let's just get into it. Money Mansmann, it's the LA Chargers traveling on the road. 5.5-point road favorites going to New England and Foxborough. Patriots are plus 198 on the money line. Chargers minus 240. The over-under currently 40.5. The Chargers are getting 88% of the money in the spread, 81% of the bets, despite only being 4-7 straight up in ATS this season. Not like the Patriots are doing any better, though. They are currently 2-9 straight up in ATS this year. Is Mac Jones starting? Is it Bailey Zappi? Does it fucking matter?
Who cares?
Literally, on the Thursday night game, they didn't know what image to put up, so they put up Bill Belichick versus Kenny Pickett. That is the state of the Patriots. They don't fucking know what they're doing. But I think I can make the argument the Chargers don't know either. I can't remember who went first last time, if it was me or you, for the Thursday game.
Might have been
I want
me.
to say, yeah, it might have been you. So I'll take this one. And look, I said sometimes you got to have a bold strategy, Cotton. And all I'm going to say is this is a no bet. I want no parts of this game whatsoever. This game is like disgusting. This line is disgusting to me. I like fucking hate it. But me being me and just being insane at times, like I really, really, really wanted to take the Patriots here in this spot. But I can't back the Pats who just lost to fucking Tommy DeVito. Like, what do you do? Like, do you back the Patriots who just lost to Tommy DeVito, or do you back the Chargers as essentially a 6-point road favorite? Like, both just sound horrible to me. The Chargers have only covered this number once this year on the road, and it was against the Jets. They've only covered this number in 3 games all year. That was Vegas and Chicago. And maybe Barney here likes Chicago, or they don't like Chicago. If Barney likes the Chargers to win here at Foxborough, they probably should know that this is a feat they haven't done since 2005 with Phillip Rivers. The last time they did it before that time, 1970. The Patriots are 12.
A lot of Tom Brady in that stretch, though.
That is true. There's a lot of Tom Brady, but there's a lot of like Chargers failure in that time frame as well. Pats are 12-1 straight up at home against the Chargers. I don't even know if I could justify a teaser here for the Chargers. I like it. Just seems like a trappy situation to just try and take the Chargers money line here with something else, especially this high. So big no play for me. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like, this is like a Pats plus 5.5 or nothing for me. Like, I can't bet this. I'm not going to. But if I had to pick a side, I think the Patriots could cover. The Chargers defense has been nothing but abysmal all year. And the Chargers offense has sort of fizzled out. So it kind of just wonders if that number is going to play a role at some point in this game. But I mean, Chargers are probably going to win. So like Patriots to cover, Chargers to win. That's my handicap. I hate it, but not sure what else to do here.
Yeah, me. This is the first game where you don't overthink it. It's Chargers or nothing.
Okay.
No, Brandon Staley is a shithead coach. We've been over that. But this Patriots team looks dead in the water, dunzo. They don't have a quarterback. Their defense is hurt. They can't score. Chargers, like, they win these type of games. This is where they get their win, and you wonder whether the Chargers could make a run until they lose next week. I think they play Denver. I think they lose next week to Denver.
They play Denver. They either play Denver or they play. It
doesn't
I'll
matter.
double check.
They'll lose. The point is, this is the game the Chargers win against shit competition. We know what the Chargers are. We've seen this before. They beat the Bears earlier in the year. They beat the Jets earlier in the year. They beat up on bad teams. New England is, I think, one of the worst teams in football. Like, I really think New England is the AFC equivalent of like the Panthers and the Cardinals. Like, they're just one of the worst teams in football. And I think the Chargers, I think they need to win this game, and I think they do. And let's be honest, I think it's an under game just because New England can't score like ever. But 27-3 does not look out of the realm of possibilities because New England's just terrible.
This is a dead under game for me. Chargers are 3-8 on the under all year, even though they have these crazy offensive weapons like Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. I'd say other wide receivers, but I know they're going to be hurting on the injury report. Quentin Johnson can't fucking catch COVID.
Oh my God, terrible.
Patriots are just as horrible, like you said. They're also 3-8 on the under this year. 3 weeks this season, they've held opponents to 10 or less, the Patriots. Do you know how many of those games they won?
How many?
1. That was the Jets. That's how bad the Patriots are. So
the only one the Patriots are going to get this year is when they play the Jets week 18 and beat them again for the millionth time.
Dog. I hope it's a dog. I really do.
Bro, they got to be. The Patriots are going to have 2 wins at that point. They're terrible.
Oh, they have to, but I don't know. I'm just scared this is a big number for the Chargers, then they barely do it. But I think you're right. Like, this is a terrible team. I may switch it up towards end of the handicap. For now, I'm gonna stick to the Pats.
I mean, one morning, like, to give you an idea of what this looks like: Chargers score differential +11, New England Patriots score differential -100. Like, you see what I mean? Like,
oh Jesus, God, that's
the Chargers are just like, and again, score differential isn't everything, but that's something I started looking at like when I was doing well in baseball, and I want to get back to looking at that more. Sometimes that's an indication of like how good a team really is. And again, I don't know, the Chargers, they always lose close games, so I kind of throw that away. I just think it shows how bad the Patriots are. Because you think Patriots not that bad, they're terrible.
You know what? Like, I think you talked me out of it. All right, we'll go Chargers or nothing here. We'll see if you're right. Moving on, we got the Arizona Cardinals, also 5.5-point road underdogs, though. +220 on the money line. Traveling to Pittsburgh, -270. Over under 41.5, and it looks like Pittsburgh is only getting 60% of the bet, 63% of the spread. Money Mansmann, Pittsburgh, 5.5-point home favorite. You riding with Tomlin here and fading Kyler Murray once again?
I mean, I told you what Kyler Murray is, and nobody wants to listen. I mean, you just keep fucking losing money with Kyler. Lose that mugger with Kyler. You know what's crazy, though? Like, normally, first off, Cardinals, 9 straight road losses now. 9 straight games lost on the road. And you know what's crazy, too? Pittsburgh, normally you don't, like, pick them as favorites, but I think they've actually covered, like, 4 straight as favorites at home. There's some record of them covering as favorites, I think. Maybe I have the numbers wrong. But the point is,
I'll take a look.
So, like, Pittsburgh has actually been successful as a favorite this year, especially at home. And I just like, this is a play with the under too. I don't know how Arizona scores in this game. Like, we saw Kyler Murray.
4 straight, 5 of the last 6.
Oh, there you go. I mean, we saw Kyler Murray struggle last week against an inferior Rams defense. Like, I think the Cardinals season is over. Pittsburgh's in the midst of the playoff hunt. They just put up 400 yards. Maybe they score a little in this game, but I don't think it matters. I see Arizona's offense getting shut down. Maybe even a couple Kyler Murray pickaroonies. So with that, I think it's Pittsburgh Steelers for me. Not a best bet or anything, but Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is not a best bet for me, but I want you to recall my handicap from 2 weeks ago because it's going to sound very similar. But yeah, let's start with Kyler and the Cardinals. 1-9 straight up in their last 10 against AFC teams. But I'll give you some updated numbers on this end. Kyler's now 6-3 straight up against AFC teams on the road. He's won 4 of his last 5. They just lost 2 weeks ago to Houston. But that was a game they at any point could have won. However, they did increase their ATS score to 5-0 since 2021 in non-conference road games. I know Pittsburgh last week got 400 yards of offense without Matt Canada.
Ooh, this is bold. Oh.
But what did they do? They didn't score. They were down at halftime to a backup quarterback in Cincinnati.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Kyler Murray I would say is better than, and again, I really should know the guy's name because he's going to be starting, but Kyler Murray is better than Cincinnati's backup. I think the Cardinals offense should be able to generate some form of offense that's at least better than what Cincinnati put forth. I don't know. I just don't want to back the Steelers. I don't mind backing the Steelers. I don't mind backing the Steelers as a small favorite. I don't want to do it at 5.5 or 6. That number just seems like ridiculously high. Even though they're 4-2 straight up in ATS as home favorites with Kenny Pickett. They only covered this number twice before. This is the biggest home favorite number that Kenny Pickett's ever going to have.
I will agree with you there. Like, if it goes above 5.5, I think you start. I think it 6 is a no play.
6 is a teaser. Just play the money line. I hate to tell you, but
yeah, like 6 is a no play, and I think when you get up to what you call it, 7, you really start looking at Arizona. Because you're right. Like, how many times have we seen Pittsburgh win by 6 in an ugly game?
Yeah, a lot. And honestly, had the Bengals opted for field goal attempts over if the Cardinals in the game against the Texans, had they just opted for field goals instead of going for it on 4th down so much, I honestly think they beat the Texans. And I think it's a whole different narrative. And it's honestly shocking. If I had to play Pittsburgh, I'm actually playing them second half. Arizona is like the worst road team as second half goes. They're 1-4 ATS. And Pittsburgh, really bad in the first half. They're 2-4 ATS in the first half at home. So double play, 5.5 to 1. Arizona first half, Steelers to win. Because I could just see this being another slow Kenny Pickett start. And then and even if it's a tie, Arizona could probably cover or even have like a 1-point swing. And I could just see the Steelers turning it up in the second half. Maybe even a pick 6 or Rooney in the third just to get it started. But
yeah,
I hear your points. Like, don't get me wrong. I think the Steelers win. I can't back Kenny Pickett as a 6-point favorite. Not even 5.5. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So
I get you. That makes sense.
Underplay too as well, though. I mean, like we've kind of said, you said Kyler sucks. I think Kenny Pickett still needs to find out ways to score before I can back them on an over game at this point.
Yeah. All right. Don't mind my camera. I'm just going to be moving for a second while you introduce the next game, so you'll see me jitter.
Well, it's actually my team. It's the Denver Broncos traveling to the Houston Texans. Texans are -168, -3.5 home favorites. Broncos +142 road underdogs. The over-under is currently 47.5. I will just go ahead and give you my handicap. If Money Mansmann never returns.
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay. There we go. All right.
Shaking and
grooving. All right. I really went back and forth with this game. And you know what? Bold strategies is the move. Fuck it. I'm doing it. This is my dog of the week. Denver's defense against a rookie quarterback is the big reason why. Since week 6, the Broncos have not only been holding opponents to an average of only 14 points a game, they've been very successful at winning the turnover battles, 5-1 and straight up in games where they do that. The one thing I've noticed lately with CJ Stroud is he's been making very boneheaded rookie-type turnovers, especially lately. He had 3 picks against Arizona. And if you look at CJ Stroud at home, 4 interceptions and 3 fumbles, compared to when he's on the road, he only has 1 pick and 2 fumbles, and they were both in that Cincinnati game. CJ Stroud, 0-4 ATS as a favorite in his career. And the Broncos have a head-to-head advantage against the Texans. They're 6-3 all time. They're 2-1 in Houston. And honestly, like, you know, you have a rookie coach, you have a rookie quarterback, you have a very young team against Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, who I'll say this, he's been making a lot less mistakes than he was the year before. And if you look at Fox Sports rankings, the Houston Texans are still considered a bottom 10 defense. I won't exactly go as far to say that the wrong team is favored. Broncos don't really win a lot on the road, but I mean, they've won 5 straight now. Like, the difference was, you look at last week, the Broncos won in spite of the refs throwing penalties at them. The Houston Texans gave it away. Not gave it away, but the Houston Texans put themselves in a bad situation because of the refs and ended up losing. So even if this game is close, I could just see the Broncos being one step ahead, especially on defense.
I think, and I was, there was a time when this was going to be my co-dog of the week, but with you making them your dog of the week, I don't really want to do it.
Really?
You know, my thing with Houston is when you're looking at it, and I don't know, the score differential thing, actually, Houston's positive, Denver's negative. So I guess you could say, like,
yeah, the numbers are skewed because of that Miami game. You have to remember that.
The numbers really are skewed because of the Miami game. When you drop a 50 burger, that's a good point. But even like when you look at it, I still think Houston is living a lot off of the 39-37 win against Tampa, where C.J. Stroud threw for 5 touchdowns. This is a team that lost to Carolina. They lost to Jacksonville.
They almost lost to Arizona.
Almost lost to Arizona. Maybe even should have lost to Arizona. They beat Cincinnati, who's a below 500 team now. I mean, I don't know. Houston's big winning streak that got them into the playoff hunt doesn't really look as good as it does now. And I've told you before, I like the fact Denver, Cleveland, playoff team. The Bills, not a playoff team anymore, but were thought to be. Minnesota fighting for the playoff.
Considered a top AFC contender.
Yeah. Green Bay all of a sudden won a couple after Denver beat them. Beat Kansas City. Like, Denver has some good wins. And now, basically, again, you know, you're getting a field goal with a team that I think is at least as good as Houston. And I've told you, I think Denver is going to the playoffs. So,
you know, it feels like a must-win situation if you like Denver here. You know what I mean?
This is the AFC eliminator, if you ask me. Like, I think the loser of this game.
Yeah.
Because the loser of this game has 7 losses?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
No. Denver only has 5, I think. Let me check.
So Denver with a loss might still survive, but I don't know. To me, I feel like the loser of this game is gonna not make the playoffs. So yeah, if I had to go with someone, I'm going with Denver here. Like I said, very close to my dog of the week. Very close.
Both teams have 5 losses, so actually it may not be exactly an eliminator. But I feel like it's an eliminator for division. Like, if you really think about it, there's only so many games left, but like, this is a must-win for both teams if they even want a shot at division, let alone wild card. Because this could come down to head-to-head matchups. It could come down to tiebreakers.
Yeah.
This just feels like a game where that could happen. But I just know Denver's had a lot of success against Houston before. And this is just like, do you want to take the rookie quarterback against the way Denver's defense has been playing? Do I want to back Russell Wilson, who like has been pretty competent lately, not making mistakes? Like, I could see this being another Justin Simmons interception game. I could see this being C.J. Stroud, 2 fumbles. Like, he just, for some reason, just struggles more at home. And I've just been seeing these, like, weird boneheaded mistakes back and forth. And especially with the penalties last week, you know, I wonder if this is going to be a flag crazy game where it just ends up, where, again, that spread becomes a factor because of one reason or another. But no, this is a Broncos or nothing play. And actually, the 47.5 right now seems a bit high. I'm going to hit the under here. Again, primarily, I think Denver's defense shuts it down. Russell Wilson just has enough to get it done. This, to me, just seems like maybe a 26-13, 26-10.
Yeah. 5 of their last 6, Denver has gone to the under, And Houston, 4 of 6 home games to the under as well. So I agree. And I think just if you're going to play Denver, you're expecting Denver's defense to come up big, make a few stops. So I think those are correlated.
I agree, 100%. All right, jumping ahead, we got an NFC showdown. We got the Detroit Lions laying 4.5 on the road, minus 210, up against the New Orleans Saints and maybe Derek Carr, maybe Jameis Winston, doesn't fucking matter. They're plus 176 home underdogs. And the over-under here, 47 is the total. Looks like Detroit getting 77% of the bets on the spread and the money.
What number do you have? What number do you have?
78% on the money.
No,
on the
spread number. Sorry, the spread number. What do you got?
Sorry, 4.5.
4.5? Okay.
I think it jumped.
I don't think that's going to change much, though.
I don't either, but Money Mansmann, what's the play here?
Well, it's time to fade the Kaser bet that I'm going to lose.
No,
this is actually this is a risky one, okay? And this is just because I didn't really like that many other favorites all that incredibly. So this is actually almost going to be like a default best bet. Default best bet, Detroit Lions. 2 straight close games in division at home. They're playing back Sunday, 1:00, going to New Orleans. This could be a good sort of get-right spot for them. And I just have a feeling that, like, New Orleans had their dream crusher last week. And I just wonder if New Orleans doesn't lay down and die in this game. I don't really like what the Saints defense has been doing all that much. Detroit's defense has struggled, but again, 2 straight weird division games. Like, I just wonder if I just have a real feeling this is the Detroit Lions get right spot. And I think this number is really low for, a Saints team that just shows they can't win. I mean, they're just not that good. And that's why they're going to lose me the Kaser bet. So it's time to start making that money up so I could pay that off. And let's do it with Detroit Lions fucking, 4.5.
Honestly, a $20 bet here. I mean, that pretty much pays for the Kaser itself.
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
So, so that's all right. I don't know, but like I endorsed the pick, and I'm not going to be scared off this number. I'm going to lay the 4.5 with the Lions as well, despite the losing streak they're currently facing. Lions are 2-0 straight up in ATS after a loss this season. The Lions have been really good on the road, 4-1 straight up in ATS. We're getting back-to-back Jared Goff dome game. Sorry, back-to-back Jared Goff dome games, which I expect him to perform better in, unlike the past few games where we've seen him outdoors. If you actually look, his score differential is actually a lot higher when he's in a dome. And especially in those outdoor games where he really didn't do too much, he had been relying on that defense to keep it relatively low and tight. No pun intended. Lions 3-0 straight up in ATS against the NFC South this season. And it's like you said, this is just a massive class relief game. The Saints 0-4 ATS at home. Only 2-2 straight up. They played shit teams. Yeah. They didn't play anyone good like the Lions. And I know both have been like dreadful at offense at some point, but the Lions are clearly the better team here, and they definitely have a better head coach. That's for fucking sure.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Somebody explain to me how Dennis Allen still has a fucking job as a head coach.
He's worse than Brandon Staley because this Saints team should be like 7-4, and you would basically be buying me the case. Like, it's only because Dennis Allen sucks so bad.
Dennis Allen, like, he's the NFC equivalent of Brandon Staley, in my opinion. Like, you don't know why he still has a job. No, here's the difference. Brandon Staley's at least 500. Dennis Allen, no. Not 500, but still has a job. Unfucking believable. Here's my play, though. Over of the week. The Lions have been
like the over.
Yeah, the Lions are a massive over team in general. They're 7-4 this year. The over's hit in 4 of their last 5, and their opponents have actually averaged 29 points in that game span. According to Fox Sports, too, one of your favorite pain points about the Saints is their red zone offense and how they're fucking awful. The Lions are actually the 3rd worst in red zone defense. They have a 68.6 touchdown rate. And the Saints have scored 24 in back-to-back home games. I'm not saying this is going to be a shootout per se, but the way these teams are playing, this just screams dead over to me. So over of the week, only because there aren't too many that I really like, but this is one you have to hammer here.
Yeah, I like the over too. I'm actually feeling I'm going, although I'm glad you have some numbers to support it, because what I saw, my big concern, Saints, last 8 home games as underdogs have gone to the under. But my thinking is that those were times when they were playing shit teams against worse offense, when their defense was playing better. Their defense hasn't been good lately. And especially with your red zone stat, maybe the Saints do get a red zone touchdown or two. Maybe Carr could get maybe Carr could actually get 1 touchdown, 2 picks in this game. So yeah, I like the over here too. Not my over of the week. That comes later, but yeah.
Oh, all right. There you go. All right. I think we're already halfway through the 1:00 games. So not too many left. Let's stay tuned, boys and girls. We got our first divisional matchup on the week. I think it's the only one, actually. Oh, no, there's 2. So for our first divisional matchup, AFC division, AFC South, we got the Indianapolis Colts traveling to the Tennessee Titans. Mike Vrabel, dead even, home underdog, plus 1.5. Colts, minus 118, over under 42.5. Titans are currently 53% of the money. The Colts getting 61% of the bet. So this looks like a pros Joe situation.
Ooh.
Money Mansmann, where are you going on this game? I know I went twice last. I'm going to give you another one. What's your play here?
Appreciate it. I think I am with the pros. My fade of the week. Time to fade the Indianapolis Colts. Let's go Tennessee Titans as a slight dog at home. I think this is a WTF game to me. Wrong team favorite. Tennessee has covered the spread in the last 4 games at home. They've been a better home team all year. We know that. The numbers show it. And and it's funny because this is actually the handicap you made earlier in the year. Other than when the Colts beat them the last time, 5 out of 6 times Tennessee has beaten Indianapolis. So again, that AFC South system play generally favors Tennessee. To me, I just think like the Titans are playing their best ball at home. I don't like the fact that they didn't look that great last week against the Panthers, but no, Jonathan Taylor. I do think Zach Moss can contribute, but in a close AFC South game, Vrabel at home as a slight dog. Yeah, I could see him clipping the Colts here. I still don't see the Colts as a playoff team. I can't wrap my head around the fact that the Indianapolis Colts have a better record than the Bills. I'm just
that's just look at who they've played and strength of schedule. I think that you'll see.
Yeah. I think this is a regression to the mean game. I have a good feeling about Tennessee, so I'm on the pro side here.
I'm sort of shocked you went this angle. I'm not going to lie to you. And yeah, I actually didn't really lean one way or the other than the fact that, like you mentioned, this is a spot play for, division game. Road favorites in division games are 23-16 straight up, 22-14 and 3 ATS. They actually went 6-0 last week. I mentioned this before. I'll say it again. Mike Vrabel, they're now 4-0 at home this season. They've won 4 of the last 5 head-to-head against the Colts, 5 of the last 7. Here's my problem. The Colts are actually really good on the road this year. They're 3-1 straight up in ATS. 3-0 ATS is home favorite or road favorites, excuse me. And the Colts are on this 3-game win streak with fucking Gardner Minshew, who I hate to say it, but you look at these 2 offenses, and I just think that Gardner Minshew actually could outscore Will Levis and the Titans on most weeks. My big question here, how are the Colts defense going to show up? This is a 3-game stretch where they've held opponents to 20 or less. The Titans haven't even managed to score over that since Will Levis's debut game. I know the Colts are the better team, in my opinion. That's why I think they have the better record, and you can't wrap your head around that. I'm still not fading Mike Vrabel at home, especially as a home dog.
Yeah,
Give me the
you don't
Titans.
like to fade Mike Vrabel. That is true.
Not as a home underdog. I like to fade him on the road as a dog, not at home though. So give me the Titans plus 1.5. Give me them even money. Yeah, this is an underplay though, and it's kind of a correlated play. Like I just think, like the Titans' offense really hasn't done much, but I think this is a matter of Gardner Minshew regression to the means. I don't see this being a sort of back-to-back or like a shootout, head-to-head sort of offensive struggle. I could see Derrick Henry maybe getting 2 touchdowns, but like 3 more field goals, 23-16.
And weirdly enough, the Titans, 10 of their last 11 games off of a win have gone to the under. Wonder if
Say that one more time.
10 of their last 11 games after a win goes under.
Really?
I wonder if they just play more conservative after a win. Maybe they're not as aggressive. I don't know. That's a really weird number. That's a really weird stat.
Sounds like they play smarter. You know what? Like maybe not conservative, but like they get a vibe for what works and they just stick to it until it stops working, and then
that could be, man. That could be.
Yeah, I don't know. But all right, we're going with the Titans. We got another dog there. All right. Oh God, we got to talk about this one. All right, I'm not going to lose my shit yet, but we need to talk about this. The New York Jets are still starting Timmy Boyle. They're 1.5 home dogs. They're only plus 110. The Falcons are minus 130,
God,
minus 1.5.
Steam. This was 3.5 earlier in the week.
What the hell is going on? Oh, by the way, both of the Sharp podcasts I listened to both took the Jets at 2.5.
If you are betting, first off, forget about the number. The Jets might even be the right side, but I don't think so.
No.
If you're betting the Jets at 1.5 right now, you've lost the plot. You could have had them at 3.5 earlier in the week. You could have had them at 3. You could have had them at 2.5. And we know in these Falcon games, how many times is it a 1-point game? Like
how many times is it a 2-point game? 1-point game.
If you're betting the Jets now, you've completely lost the ship, and you are the reason why sportsbook handle is like 15% every fucking year.
Hang on, I didn't even give you the stats. So here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's 64% dead even on both. 64% of the bet, 64% of the money on Atlanta. There's a 36% pull towards the Jets. Why?
Now, the sharp money has to be coming on the Jets for the line to change. There has to be sharp money on the Jets coming in. It's the only reason.
You know what? This is the handicap. Are you ready?
Yep.
The Jets are on auto fade. That's the handicap. The Jets are on auto fade. Plain and simple. Now, look, here's why it could be sharp money. I'll give you the actual logical reasons why I think, and I actually heard some pretty good points. Atlanta does suck on the road. They're 1-4 straight up in ATS. They're coming off a big win against the Saints. And Atlanta is a non-conference road favorite, which is an auto fade in itself, considering NFC teams. They're only 12-25 straight up and 16-20. And since week 5, they've only gone 7-22 straight up. But let's even ignore that for a second. Just ignoring that. We've seen this game before. I don't care that Atlanta dropped their last 5 as non-conference road favorites. I'm tired of hearing this argument that the Jets defense is good enough to win games. You know what my response is? No, they fucking aren't. They weren't good enough to beat the Raiders. They weren't good enough to beat the Chargers. They weren't good enough to beat the Bills. They weren't good enough to beat the Dolphins. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, 3 of those 4 were complete walkovers, getting their brains bashed in.
Their defense couldn't beat Aiden O'Connell. Think about that really hard for a minute. Not to mention, they have no clue what they're doing on offense anymore with, again, Tim Boyle.
Did you hear Nathaniel Hackett supposedly said, we're taking too many chances on offense? He said that. Swear to God.
This dumb, bald motherfucker,
I swear to
Nathaniel
God,
Hackett, has a job in the NFL believing that the Jets are taking too many offensive risks. Are you fucking
they don't
kidding
throw
me?
the ball more than like 1 yard. I don't understand, man.
They don't even, look, I'm getting to this point. Are you shitting me? They don't take chances. They take too many. They scored their first offensive touchdown in garbage time against Miami since they played the Giants 5 weeks ago. They're taking too many chances on offense.
They scored a touchdown against the Bills. One.
Did they?
Yeah, they got one. They missed the extra point. Actually, the last 2 touchdowns they've had, they missed the extra point.
Wait, who scored that touchdown for the? Did they really? Because I don't.
Yeah, Zach Wilson threw the ball to Brees Hall, and he ran in from like 8 yards out, and they were losing, 17-6 or whatever.
Fault. You're right. Okay, so that's my fault.
Then they immediately gave up a touchdown out of the half, and that was the end of that game.
Okay, they're taking too many chances on offense.
So,
if I told you back in week 6 of this year, so I want you to imagine like beginning of October. What if I told you that between the weeks of week 10, 11, and 12, Brees Hall, starting running back for the New York Metropolitans, would only have 30 carries in those 3 games. Not from injury, not because he wasn't starting, not because he got outpaced for Dalvin Cook, and that he was also seeing less and less carries each week. Wouldn't you be asking yourself if the Atlanta Falcons was coaching this team? But no, Nathaniel Hackett's taking too many. They're not taking whatever the fuck.
Well, I will say the problem is Brees Hall can't run the ball because literally they don't spread the field. So you just put 8 men in the box and they're going to throw short patterns anyway. So it's like their offensive line's banged up. They don't throw the ball deep. So all you need to do is put like 8, 9 guys in the box and, you're not afraid of them beating you deep. They can't throw the ball deep. They never throw it deep.
No.
Ever.
I don't mind if you hate the Falcons here. I hate the Falcons. I hate their defense, but only a point and a half here. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
and I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned with Aaron Rodgers coming back. It's like, oh, yay, Aaron Rodgers is back. Our season, like, you guys lost 4 straight games. What is Aaron Rodgers going to do for you?
I don't get that either. Like, if you're Aaron Rodgers, what incentive do you have to return?
Honestly, he's going to come back. He's going to immediately get hurt behind this shit offensive line. Like, he's immediately going to get hurt. Immediately.
It's unreal. I don't get it. Like, it's the most asinine Jets thing I think I've ever heard of. And I've heard of a lot of asinine Jets things. This one might take the cake. No, give me the Falcons here. This is a fucking joke.
A streak is going to end. The Falcons have not covered 7 straight against the AFC. That's okay, though. The Jets are always there to do you one better. 9 straight losses against the NFC South.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, I do have a best play on this game. Under of the week. That's right. It's a 33.5. I don't give a shit. It's supposed to be raining in that life. We've seen this game a bunch of times before. These teams are not scoring. I mean, who knows? Maybe Arthur Smith, he'll have Desmond Ridder throw the ball 60 times. I mean, who knows? This guy's an idiot too. But I don't know, man. When your best handicap for the Jets is, Aaron Rodgers back now, like, what did Tim Boyle show you in 2 games to make you think that, like, this Jets offense can – I mean, unless they hold the Falcons to, like, 2 points, they're not going to win the game.
The handicap I hear is that the Jets defense could beat Desmond Ridder.
But what if they run the ball? They can't stop the run, though. I mean,
they can't stop
against the run.
One of the sharps, I heard he's doing he does all these dummy plays, but literally throws like minimal amounts of units. He's doing a 3-headed running back touchdown beast. Cordero Patterson, Tyler Algier. Oh God, what's the third guy? I can't.
Bijan Robinson, of course.
Bijan. I was gonna say BJ. I was like, that's not right. Bijan Robinson. All three to get a touchdown in this game.
That's funny. I like that. That's funny.
I hope he hits it. I really do. By the way, double under of the week. I had under of the week here as well.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna. You always do this, and it always works. You had New England Giants last week, and yeah.
Yep. Jets haven't scored more than 14 since they beat the Eagles. The Falcons might get up to 20.
Oh, by the way, you want to have a little fun? You want to have a little fun with this? Here's my crazy play. Ready? You know how Atlanta had a pick 6 last week?
Yes.
Let's go Atlanta defensive touchdown. And if you really want to have some fun, Jesse Bates, he could very easily jump another route, get another pick 6. Let's go Jesse Bates interception. I might actually play those.
Oh, man. I don't think you can same game parlay all those, but I'm curious. So let's do that. We'll do the under. And then for touchdown scores, I'm just curious. What is the Falcons defense here? Here we go. It looks like anytime it is 850. That's a 30-1. Falcons -1.5, under 33.5. Falcons defense. Wow. That's a 30-1 same game parlay.
Jesus. Might be worth it to throw a couple bones on that, honestly.
Honestly, like, what would it take to... I mean, that is just...
5 gets you $1.50. I mean, you know, if you're a big unit player, 50 gets you 1,500. Like,
yeah. Jesus, that would be tempting as a motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie to you. I might play that.
I love the Jets.
Yeah, no, dual under. This is insane. I just, what are the Jets gonna do on offense? Oh, and some numbers for you too. Both teams have massive unders respectively on the road for the Falcons, Jets at home. Jets, 4 of their last 5 in non-conference games have hit the under. So I love the under here. I know it's 33.5, but if you're that worried, tease it up a little bit. With that fucking Falcons defense, doesn't matter. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. This could be 23-6. Like, it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be good enough. So,
Yep.
All right, I'm done ranting about the Jets. They suck. I'm not wasting any more breath on them. Instead, let's move to our more native land here. The Washington Commanders, a.k.a. the Commies, catching 9.5 plus 360 at home, hosting the Miami Dolphins, -460 road favorite. Over under is currently sitting at 49.5. Commanders have lost 4 of their last 5 ATS. Dolphins catching 85% of the money, 78% of the bets, 7-4 ATS, 8-3 straight up. Yeah. Let me make this very, 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 very simple for you. If my screen will load. Yep, here it is. This is a system play. This is an AFC non-conference road spot. Fade of the week. I'm fading the Dolphins here.
Oh, no.
But Miami's gonna win, no doubt about it. It's not even gonna be. I think 9.5 is. Here's my problem: the Commanders are coming off a game where they just got blown the hell out of by Dallas in a dome. They're now coming home in a rain weather game.
Oh, okay.
Non-conference road team. And the Dolphins literally are coming off a game where they beat Tim Boyle. And Tua Tagovailoa's gameplay has actually been very suspect of late, which is why I'm not that afraid of taking the 9.5. Maybe the turnovers are something that I'm just beginning to take note of. Tua's thrown at least an interception in 5 of his last 6 road games. He's had at least a fumble or an interception in every single game this year, except for Denver. The Dolphins have not covered 3 straight non-conference road games, and their defense, once again, is going to have to be the one to step up against Sam Howell. By the way, passing yards leader right now in the NFL. And let's be honest, I think Sam Howell's going to be able to put up more of an effort than Tim fucking Boyle. And again, do I think the Commies will win? No. They're 2-6 straight up, 2-5-1 ATS against the AFC, at home against Ron Rivera. And the Commanders is underdogs, especially at home. So it's home dogs. They're 5-14 straight up, 8-3 ATS. So I don't know. I just think that the Dolphins, like with that Jets game, the way they played in that first half, barely getting the first half cover. Now that I don't think the Commanders are great by any stretch of the imagination, but I think they're better than the Jets right now. I think they could put up a hell of a lot better of a fight. I think Eric Bieniemy could draw something up to take care of this Dolphins defense, albeit the Commanders have not been looking great as of late. And, the Dolphins, I think this is a letdown spot. So, Commies plus 9.5. I think the number's really high.
Yeah, I'm not that confident on it. Dolphins failed to cover 4 straight on the road as favorites against the NFC. Commanders, though, failed to cover 6 straight against the AFC as underdogs. But, Ron Rivera shouldn't be the coach of this team. Eric Bieniemy should be the interim coach at this point in the season. They just fired Del Rio, but that was after they traded their only 2 defensive players. I don't know. To me, the Commanders are just dead. I thought they were going to have a bounce back on Thursday after getting killed by the Giants, and then they got killed again by the Cowboys. Yeah. It's just hard for me not to see Washington get killed in this game. I think you're really hoping on the rain here. So again, the number's high. I don't really want to lay that much. So it's probably going to be really a tease play or nothing for me here. But if I had to pick Miami, and again, it depends on the weather, my inclination would be over because like you said, Sam Howell, he's going to throw the ball. The Dolphins could score. We know Washington can't stop a nosebleed. So I would be thinking, over. But if it's going to rain and there's weather, I don't really want to fuck with that either.
For me, it's an underplay, not because of the weather, but also I think for my handicap to work, Tua has to struggle. It has to be like the Dolphins Raiders game where Tua has every opportunity to make it happen, but he just doesn't do it. Now I will say one thing going against me here: 4 of the last 5 for the Commanders have hit the over, so I think you're onto something there. But let's see. So there's 2, 3. Yeah, so 3 straight at home have hit the over as well.
It's hard, though. It's a high number, too. It doesn't help.
Yeah, I think this is an adjusted line. I think normally this should be a lower number, but the sports books, I think, have been getting slammed. I heard a number, too. I forget what it is. I heard the books have been getting slammed on the unders this year. Every game has been hitting that. And every time they adjust, the under keeps getting hit. So, I think it was if you hit the under on every single game, you'd be up 400 units. It's something absurd like that.
Yeah, it's definitely been an under year, but I feel like Washington's maybe one of the few teams where people just want to bet the over because they can't stop anything.
Yeah.
So.
Nope. Well, maybe they could stop it here, but moving on. We got our second divisional matchup here. NFC South matchup. We got the Carolina Panthers catching 5.5 plus 205 on the road. Traveling to Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield, minus 250 for the Bucks and Mount St. Mary's alumni. Yeah, Todd Bowles, whatever. Fuck it. 36.5 is the total. Money Mansmann, are we backing our alumni here or are we taking a shot with the worst team in football right now?
Yeah, worst ATS team in football. I'm actually going to just skip over the week over Panthers Bucks. Why would you say that? I know Carolina's offense sucks and that they always go under. This Tampa defense can't stop shit. They're dreadful. You saw the game last week, bro. They can't get a stop. They can't tie their own shoelaces properly. Carolina could get 17. And let's not forget, Baker Mayfield, he put in a gritty performance last week. They were on the road and still, kept it relatively close. That shows you Tampa Bay would be the way I'm going here. They need a win. Baker Mayfield's a serviceable quarterback. And no offense, you're asking me to back Carolina under a touchdown. There's just 0% chance I'm doing that on the road, even against a bad Tampa team. So
not doing it. Nope. You couldn't convince me to do it either. Yeah, again, here's your handicap. Do you want to back Carolina as a road dog when they haven't won a single road game all year? Or Baker Mayfield at home, who's 2-1 straight up in ATS as a favorite? Oh, by the way, Baker Mayfield's revenge spot against Carolina. Remember, he signed with them last year and then got traded.
Oh, I forgot about that. God damn it. It's even better.
Buccaneers have won 5. Buccaneers won 5 of the last 6 against the Carolina Panthers. They've won 7 of the last 9. Bucks have won 4 of their last 5 meetings at home, 5 of the last 7 at home against the Panthers. Or Bryce Young with an interim head coach. Bucks are nothing here. 4 of the last 5 head-to-heads have hit the over on this game. So completely endorse your over of the week here. Over 36.5 is insanely low. And as I said before last week too, if you remember, Carolina tends to actually score better on the road compared to when they're at home. And I can see this being like a Tampa Bay defensive letdown where it ends up being like a 28-20 backdoor cover, backdoor over situation.
Yeah, I just have no faith in Tampa to really. I mean, they're not even good stopping the run anymore. Like, they just get shredded. I mean, they're just bad.
Yeah, no, they're pretty rough. But yeah, I got nothing else for this game. Oh, I'll give you this last stat. Road underdogs in division matchups this year. 11-16 straight up, 12-14 and 1 ATS. But since week 6, 3-13 straight up, they're 4-12 ATS.
Yikes.
All right, I got a lot we need to go over on this game. If this is without a doubt the game of the week, probably should be primetime, but for some reason, yet again, it isn't. We have the number 2 NFC team, the San Francisco 49ers, laying 2.5 on the road now, minus 156, traveling to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, where they have the most disrespectful, annoying fan base of all time, the Philadelphia Eagles, plus 124 on the money line, up to 132, I'm sorry, it just updated on me, and over-under is 47.5. Eagles have won and covered 5 straight. They're best team right now in the league, only getting 50% of the bets on the spread, and San Francisco is getting 64% of the money. All right. I guess it's my turn to go first, and I'm going to have a lot to say, folks, so cheers, bear with me.
Strap in.
All right, God's honest truth. This is arguably the hardest game, not just this year, to handicap. This might be one of the hardest games I've ever had to handicap.
Ooh.
Because I think you look at the spot. You look at where these teams are at. You look at what they've done. And in my head, personally, everything is telling me to take the Niners. Because let's just start with the revenge factor here. You've had guys like Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, Brock Purdy, who all year have been looking forward and looking ahead to this matchup since the NFC Conference Championship when Brock Purdy got himself injured in the first quarter. You have Philadelphia. They're coming off back-to-back comeback victories against 2 of the alleged top AFC teams this year.
Well,
in games where they were in both those games, they were outgained in yardage, and yet somehow they won outright. Now going up against number 2. The Niners are coming off 10 days of extra rest after mollywopping the Seattle Seahawks. And Philly just came off a war game in overtime in the rain. Now you're going to stay home, go through another rain game in Philadelphia. Philly is also severely banged up and injured. The Niners, they're now back in full force. They're winning again. It sucks, and I think in spite of all of that, I have to play Philly here. I have to play Philly. The Niners as road favorites, they've only gone 3-3 ATS this year. They're 4-2 straight up. They're actually coming off of their second ATS win as a road favorite this year. And those games on the road weren't exactly the quality that is the Philadelphia Eagles. Their hardest road matchup, I would argue, is the Rams. who got a backdoor cover, but they still played a pretty close matchup than everybody expected a lot earlier in the season. Secondly, it's the Eagles at home. They haven't been home underdogs since 2021 when Jalen Hurts had, that was his first year as a starting quarterback. Now, to be fair, they went 0-5 straight up and 1-4 ATS as home dogs. But since then, 14-2 straight up, 11-4-1 ATS at home. And they are such a huge second half team that this 2.5 is going to play a huge role come towards the end of that game. 9-2 ATS in the second half, where the Niners are only 4-7. I think this game, it literally will come down to the wire. I could see Philly making a third comeback win, but I could also see Philly holding it off in a very much back and forth battle. I could see Philly's defense making a huge step up here compared to when they played the Bills. I really, I don't know if there's a wrong side to pick here. That's why this game is so hard. You can make arguments for either team. I just find it harder to fade Philly at home than it is to take Brock Purdy as a road favorite here in a game where, to be honest, I think it really should be a pick 'em. So give me the Eagles plus the points.
Yep. This is the dog of the week.
Wow.
Especially when I handicapped it at 3. And the reason why is, why are the Eagles a home underdog in this game? I mean, I know the Niners have looked great. They didn't look so great when Deebo Samuel was out. And, I mean, I know the injuries. I know you could make a lot of excuses sort of why the Eagles have a better record. They win a lot of close games. But we talked about how winning close games sometimes is a sign of a good team. And, I mean, look, the Eagles weren't lucky to win the Bills game. They just won it. I mean, they won. Like, the other team made a mistake and they won. Like, that's it. It wasn't like a ball bounced off a guy's helmet and they won and, shit like that. I mean, so my handicap really is the simple fact of we know how good the Eagles are against the NFC, especially at home. I know they've won a couple close games in a row, but they're home underdogs again. And, you want to fade the Eagles as home underdogs again? I don't care who the Eagles are playing. The Eagles right now, the way they're playing, should never be a home underdog in a game ever. So with that, especially if you got 3.5, Eagles are definitely the play. And that was the real simple. It's like, I can't back the Niners when you look at it and you have a team that has basically won 9 straight conference games. I don't care how they did it. I don't care why they did it. You're asking me to basically, I have to beat the Eagles by 2.5, and the Eagles have won 9 straight. It's just stupidity.
You have to win by a field goal in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Not at home, on the road. I think that's a big feat. That's why, mind you, here's what I think the 2.5 is the better play. Because I could see this being a 30-24 coming down to the wire, and Brock Purdy or Christian McCaffrey runs one off, and it's 31-30. 30, or if it's 29-30 and they kick a field goal and it's 32. You know what I mean? I could just see some shenanigans like that happening, especially with the Eagles. I wouldn't be shocked if this team has been worn out. They're ready for a fucking bye week. They're done. I don't even know if Philly's had the bye yet.
I think you fade them against a bad team. That's the problem. If anything, last week, a non-conference game with the Bills who needed a win, that last week was the excuse.
Yeah.
This
and they
week,
still did it.
Playing against the Niners, it's very hard for me to see, the Niners are coming to town, let's just lay an egg. If anything, that would have been last week. Oh, it's the Bills. They need a win, whatever,
Yeah. We'll get ready for the Niners. Just, it's raining. This sucks. Whatever.
Yeah, no, I think the rain could help the Eagles. I mean, honestly. I could see Brock Purdy fumbling and stumbling.
Lane Johnson, Fletcher Cox are both they're both suspected to return. Dallas Goedert did return to practice, but I think he's doubtful. So I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. I think the Niners have like the more ready team, and I could see them coming in fired up. But I just think expecting the Eagles to lay down and die is ridiculous.
Don't get me wrong. I think the Niners can very easily win this game, but like, you're giving me basically like the team with the best record in football is a 3-point home underdog or a 2.5-point home underdog. I mean, just think about it. Betting against that is not a way to consistently make money. You know, and it's just not.
No. And for those, like, that's one thing, money line 10-1. Eagles are 8-2-1 ATS. You're really losing money fading the Eagles here.
People have been doing it all year, and they just keep losing.
I don't get it. But overplay for me, even with the rain. I mean, both these offenses are juggernauts. This could be a big back and forth game. I don't expect this to be slow whatsoever. Like, give me. I do expect a lot of running this time around, unlike the Eagles game with the Bills, but no, otherwise, like, I don't think Brock Purdy's going to be able to game manage his way out of this one. Give me the Eagles. Give me the over.
I looked under because the last 5 games against these teams have gone under, so I'm wondering if it's a weird sort of maybe they're going to try not to make the big mistake in a big game. I don't know. But not one of my favorite over-under plays.
Yeah, definitely not.
Not going to be anything about that.
All right, it's the star of the show this week, Money Mansmann, Mr. Joe Flacco, former Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl winner, getting the start for the Cleveland Browns, catching 3.5 plus 166 on the road, going into the Los Angeles Rams at SoFi Stadium, where they are minus 198, coming off that win against the Cardinals. Over-under is 40.5. What the fuck are we doing, folks? It is Joe Flacco. And it's only 3.5. Money Mansmann, go.
I think we're going to fight.
Oh, really?
Cleveland Browns plus 3.5. I'm fading your best bet, probably. Here's why.
No.
I don't think you realize.
But I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight you.
Here's why. You are getting one of the best teams in the league coming off a loss against one of the worst teams in the league coming off a win. And I was originally on your side, and I completely changed because I remembered how bad the Rams have been recently coming off a win. Let me give you the numbers. Cleveland, 7 straight wins and covers coming off a loss. The Rams failed to cover 9 straight home games following a win.
Isn't this the spot, though? Isn't this the spot where, like, that chance? Come on. Ask yourself, you're going to back Flacco at 3.5. Say that, like, really out loud.
No.
Say that, please do.
Every time I bet the Browns, I've told you the same thing. I am backing the Browns defense. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And maybe if they get some competent quarterback play, I mean, I don't know. Maybe if they get some competent quarterback play, who knows?
2-2 ATS for the Rams after a win this year. Yeah. This is
I don't know, man. This could be the Barney for you. This could be your Donko play of the week.
I don't care. No. Because literally, you're really going to bet on Joe Flacco. I don't care if you think you're the same kind of guy that would bet the Jets because their defense could beat them. You're doing the same thing here, but it's Cleveland.
Fair, I almost did. I almost bet the Jets. And then I remembered Tim Boyle. But Joe Flacco is better than Tim Boyle.
Here's my Izzy.
He could hand off to Jerome Ford.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna Joe Flacco, 3-14 straight up as a starter since 2019. Are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna go. Not like Joe Flacco's been on the team for long. He was just signed to the practice squad last week. You're gonna let this guy start over PJ Walker. Are the Browns out of their goddamn minds?
I will say there are some analytics that say like PJ Walker is the worst quarterback in the league.
He was winning though, wasn't he? Like I don't
know. There are analytics. Like on my podcast that I listen to, they always talk about how they call him Walker Texas Ranger, that he's like the worst quarterback in football.
Oh, and by the way, your Cleveland defense. Oh, Cleveland defense. Fuck the Browns defense, okay? They suck ass on the road. Are you fucking kidding? They've given up 38 to Gardner Minshew. They just gave up 29 to Denver. They gave up 29 points a game on average on the road.
No quarterback play. I mean, I think Joe Flacco might be an upgrade compared to the two bozos they had before. Honestly.
No, this is not an upgrade. This is the same level. This guy literally just got to Cleveland 2 weeks ago. He's now starting.
I mean, you might have to do a blaze if Cleveland like covers.
I'll bet you a double. I will bet you a double blaze right now. Give me the Rams minus 3.5.
Oh,
give me a double blaze.
Look, I want to take this.
Come on. No, you're that confident.
No, I mean, no. See, here's the thing. I'm less confident than you. You're like super confident.
Do you know why this isn't my best bet?
To see you do it. I might take it just to see you do it.
I'm not making this my best bet because I got burned on Cleveland once really bad this year. I'm not doing it again. I'll do a double blaze though. No, fuck Joe. I'm from, you forget, I'm from Maryland. I've seen Joe Flacco. I saw him with Denver for fuck's sakes. He's not good. He's not a winner. He needs to retire. He needs to be done. You could have got anybody off waivers. You could have signed any free agent. You went with Joe Flacco. Cleveland, that's the most loser fucking thing. The Jets didn't even fucking want Joe Flacco anymore. They were done with him.
I mean, to be fair, they don't want anybody except Timmy Boyle and fucking the ghost of Aaron Rodgers, who's going to get hit once and fucking his career is going to be over.
Bro, this is so bad. I'm not even saying this game's going to be good. Kyron Williams and Matt Stafford could be the Browns defense is not good. They're not that good. They have not been good lately. They give up a lot of fucking points on the road. I can't believe you're fucking non-conference road dog. Really? You really want to do this? You sure?
I mean, to be fair, though, last week they had no quarterback.
Do you want me to give you the number? I will give you the number if you really want it. I'll wait.
Go with it.
One more time. AFC teams. 6-8 straight up, 3-9-2 ATS in the last 4 weeks.
That's terrible. I don't know, man. I
double
really
blaze right now. Double blaze, yes or no?
I have to be responsible. I guess I really I'm not as confident. Let's be honest, I'm not really super confident in Cleveland. This is a tease play for me. I just think you have a chance to look like a real donkey on this one.
Yeah, we looked like a donkey when we picked the Steelers. That doesn't mean it wasn't the wrong side.
No, this one could be really bad. But as bad as the Rams are after a win, I feel like your handicap is just Joe Flacco's shit. And honestly, he might be better than the two quarterbacks they had already. Honestly,
your handicap is the Rams suck after a loss, but they're 50% this year. So I'll take a coin flip.
9 straight failed covers as home favorites after a win.
It's not good. Not good. But honestly, this seems like a spot they make it up. I really do. I can't fucking believe you're taking Cleveland. This is so bad.
Is that only one of 2 4:00 games? Is that it?
That's it.
Oh,
that's it. No, 3. It was Carolina, San Francisco, Cleveland. This is the last.
Oh God, the Carolina games 4 o'clock. Okay. Well, anyway, prime time.
Yeah, not that we give a shit. We'll just ignore that game. But what's your over under 40.5?
Well, it has to be under if you like Cleveland. So I'd be shocked if Joe Flacco leads the offense to 28 points. That would even surprise me.
I lean under, but it's because Joe Flacco sucks. Matt Stafford won't need to do a lot here.
Yeah.
I lean
you
under,
were
but
right
not
about
strong.
one thing, though. The Browns' last 6 road games have gone over, so who knows?
Yeah, this is the one where like I don't know. It could be.
God, could
Could
Joe
be an over.
Flacco win a game in LA?
No, he cannot. I promise you, he can't. I don't care how bad I sound. He cannot win a road. He cannot win a road game. He can't win a game. He had one good win as a Jet. He had one. Does anybody remember it? I don't. I just remember he had one. Like, the guy's a loser. His career's over. He's washed.
How old is this guy? I can't believe he's still in the league. When they said, I was shocked. Guy was still in the league.
Like, what are we doing? You could have got like Colin Kaepernick, Cam Newton. Would have made more sense here.
I mean, bro, there's a lot of people you could have gotten.
Joe Flacco's 38, by the way. All right, primetime game. Kansas City Chiefs laying 6 on the road, minus 260. Traveling to Green Bay, plus 215 home underdog, over under 42.5. Chiefs are getting 79% of the money, 78% of the bets. All right, Money Mansmann, take it away. I've had enough.
I hate this game because this is an emotional game because I really want to bet the Packers because I could see this being a low scoring game. I actually like the under more because when you look at it, like both defenses are in like the top 10 in scoring. And we know like Kansas City struggled on offense at times. We know Green Bay is hit or miss on offense. So like whenever you're laying 6 points, but I don't know, man. Primetime Patrick Mahomes, Sunday Night Football against, let's be honest, a mediocre Packers team that I don't think's that good. I don't know, man. It's just hard for me to bet against Kansas City, like at under a touchdown. I'd probably have to go Kansas City here, but I really want to go with the Packers. I just don't have the heart to do it.
Gotcha. Well, you thought the Rams were going to be my best bet of the week. It's actually the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm curious as to this one. Wow.
There's 2 ways you could look at this. This is a fade of the Packers because I may be insane advocating to lay units on Mahomes after another Raiders win, but let's be honest, this spread kind of just seems relatively low. Considering like 3 weeks ago, the Packers were on my auto fade list and they were fucking losing every game. And the Green Bay Packers to me are just due for a huge letdown spot. And I'm glad that they're on a 2-game win streak and they've won 3 of their last 4, but sure, they're getting some extra rest off Thanksgiving. That's fine. Patrick Mahomes has won 6 straight on Sunday Night Football. Now, 3 straight have ended by a field goal. So I get why you may be hesitant to take the 6. This is the one very huge stat going in favor of the Chiefs that actually won me over and made me have zero hesitation. 10 straight regular season wins in non-conference road games since 2019.
Oh, wow. 7
straight covers, 6 as road favorites against the NFC.
Didn't they beat the Packers and make Jordan Love look silly in like one of his first starts too?
It was actually Jordan Love's very first start, and it was actually a very close matchup. I think it was like they were winning by 10 till like a backdoor swing came in, and I think it looked. I forget what the number was, but the game was very low scoring. It was very boring. It wasn't as good, but the score was actually very fraudulent of how the game actually went. But yeah, the Chiefs defense basically embarrassed Jordan Love. You look at the Packers' last 4 games. They beat Brett Rippon. They lost to Matt Canada's Steelers. You beat the Chargers, who suck. And you beat the Lions on Thanksgiving, a spot where they always lose.
God, I bet against the Packers every week, and the one time I bet on them, they lost.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a massive step up in class to host Kansas City. And I think the Chiefs on the reverse side are getting some massive class relief before they go home to play Buffalo. This is like a Chiefs game that they're going to beat a fucking team mercilessly before they go to their fucking primetime game against a big team. I know that I know the Bills aren't like looking as good. Bills are coming off the bye though, but come on, you know the Chiefs are getting ready for that Bills game. I think they're gonna mollywop the shit out of this Packers team to make a statement and then have a get up spot here. So I'm laying the money with the Chiefs here. And I did this at 6.5 too, so the fact it went down.
Yeah, I can't really blame you. I do think the Chiefs are going to win. I don't know. I've had the Packers. It's like the last 2 years I've had terrible luck with the Packers. It's just so brutal.
All right. This is actually an under spot for me. Or sorry, no, it's an over spot. I mean, Green Bay's been playing better offense kind of lately. I don't know what Aaron Jones' status is. I forget what the numbers were. I'm not going to just had a feeling this was going to be an over, but I could be wrong.
Gotcha. All right. And look at that. We're to our last game now.
Oh, no over pick for you here?
Oh, I said under. Because that was part of the handicap, part of my concern. Like, I really like the under better because I think this could be a nip and tuck type game. And I don't know. That's why I'm concerned about the 6, because this could be like a 20-16 type game. Yeah. I could see a lot of field goals in this game.
Aaron Jones is out against the Chiefs this week, so.
No, that's unhelpful. Oh.
Yep. All right. Last game, Monday Night Football. Bengals plus 8.5, plus 320 on the money line. Monday night, traveling to the Jacksonville Jaguars, where weird witchy things happen. Jacksonville minus 405 favorite, over under 38.5. Jags are nothing. I mean,
yeah.
How do you? I don't even really have a handicap other than that. Like, I hate the idea of laying 8.5 with the Jags. I know the Bengals played a close game, but like you have to remember it's Pittsburgh and they're still trying to get their shit together on offense, especially with a new coordinator. Jags are pretty established at this point. We know what we're getting. We know the Jags can run up the score if they want to. Their defense just tends to like blow it at times. Part of me like wants this to be a closer game. I would love nothing more than to see the Jags lose in this spot, but you know, home teams, they're 5-9 straight up, 5-8-1 ATS this season on Monday Night Football. So I think we're a little overdue for a home team win and cover. I don't know. This just does not seem like the spot you want to back the Bengals here.
Jags covered 5 straight as favorites. This is going to be 6, I think. Bengals are just, I mean, they didn't know they were going to have their backup quarterback playing. He's not good enough. And even worse in this game, think about it. Jags defense, top 5 against the run, last against the pass. You have a backup quarterback who's not going to be able to take advantage of it, and Cincinnati can't run the ball. So it just doesn't.
Which is crazy when you remember they have Joe Mixon.
Yeah, I mean, this just is not a good looking matchup, and you're in Duval. Not what you want. No, this is going to be a snooze fest Monday Night Football game. Snooze fest.
I don't know about snooze fest per se. I am taking the under here, just kind of sticking with the Monday night trends. I think it's like there's been a lot of unders hitting on Monday night. I want to say I think there's only like one over this year. Oddly enough, I'll double check, but.
Yep. And, Jacksonville's offense could struggle a little, and I expect 0 from Cincinnati in this game. 0.
Really? Yeah, bro, I'm looking like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Like, it's been 7, 8. Bro, it's been like 9 weeks. God, I'm literally at week 3. 10.
Jesus. Something about Monday night, man.
10 straight. Yeah, there's only been one over. So it's been a dead under for Monday Night Football. So
yeah, and this game certainly fits the bill. Yeah.
Yeah, so yep, that's it. That's all the games we have this week, Money Mansmann. So let's do a quick recap of our best bets and pray we don't fucking swing and fight it with each other. Last call. I'm going to give you one last call. Double Blaze. Give me the Rams minus 3.5.
What the hell? Why not? Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's do
I
it.
fucking can't wait. Now we have a reason to watch that game.
I have to just because like I just want Cleveland to cover so badly now. Just because I'd love that'd be so funny.
I can't wait till Aaron Donald gets like 3 strip sacks and Joe Flacco gets hurt with a rib injury and then
Joe Flacco, let's be honest, my dude, Aaron Donald's gonna like get past the guard. Flacco's just getting on the ground. He's turtling. Like, we know it's going.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. What are your? I got to go in a minute anyway. So what are your best plays?
Best plays. We'll start with my best bet. Kansas City -6. Fade of the week. We're gonna fade the Miami Dolphins here. Take the Commanders +9.5. Dog of the week. Broncos +154, +3.5. Under of the week. Under 33.5 for the Jets Falcons game. Over of the week. Over 47 for Detroit New Orleans.
Gotcha. All right. So my plays, and you should fade these because you know my best plays never seem to work out. My best bet, Detroit Lions -4.5 against the Saints, who are going to cost me the Kaser bet. This is like the millionth week in a row that I've been on the Lions. So, take that for what you will. Dog of the week, Philadelphia Eagles, now at +2.5. They shouldn't be underdogs. My fade of the week, Tennessee Titans fading the Indianapolis Colts. And then we're really going to the bottom of the barrel. Atlanta Falcons, New York Jets, under of the week. And then the over of the week, Carolina, Tampa Bay. Yuck.
Ooh. Well, that's it, folks. That is our handicaps for the Week 13 slate. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at DeGents Podcast. Any final words for the people, Money Mansmann?
No. Just real quick, as a reminder, we have the double blaze bet. Browns,
double blaze
3.5. But no, other than that, have a good night, DeGents. Make that motherfucking money.
All right. I'm Big Bucks Beta. This is Money Mansmann. We are signing off. Have a good night, DeGents.
Good night, DeGents.